Bonjour and welcome to another review of the brand new comics of the week, my top 10. A special welcome to all my sexy subscribers and a welcome to all of you geeks, you comic book geeks, you comic book readers, you comic book collectors. Welcome one and all, and especially my new friends on Threads. Getting used to saying that with my new teeth in now, aren't I? Welcome to you lot as well. I know I say it every week, but I am really enjoying your company over there, guys. And anyone who isn't yet on Threads and you're into your comics, head on over there. Tell them the Hog sent you, because it is a happy place. Not everyone's agreeing about everything. What I find is that I scroll on by. If I don't like it, here is where I have my whinge of the week. So I might have my top 10, which I do have, and it was a bumper week. I got over 20, I think I got something like 24 books, something like that. So I've got my top 10. I'm going to do a deep dive. See what I mean about them new teeth. I'm going to do a deep dive on my top 5. So that will be where the spoilers are. So if it's a comic that you're getting or one that you don't want to know too much about it, then just be careful. I try to steer away from letting you know a cliffhanger or the ending for the month to come. So I don't try and make it too spoily, but obviously opening the comic up is going to release information that be careful of, what you want to see. But to start with, I'm just going to go through my top 10, which are, I'm going to do my top 5 first, which is starting with Infernals. This continues to be, it's issue 3. It's got better and better. I think you get used to, I've personally got used to Pearson. Pearson's, it is Pearson, isn't it? Yes, Pearson's art style. It's a very well conceived storyline and book, and it is Succession, the TV show, but mixed up with the film. Do you remember the film Angel Heart with geekyOlhog? If you don't, it's to do with the devil, and it's set in New Orleans. This comic isn't, but it's to do with the devil. Robert De Niro's in it. I think he is the devil actually in it. Anyway. It's a mix. I think the pitch for that comic could be Succession meets Angel Heart. End of. I love it. It's a really good. It's an enjoyable story that everyone involved is embracing, and I know I'm kind of using. Maybe let me know if I'm overusing that, because what I like is when the creators do embrace the madness or the essential stupid idea, demons exist and they're walking around and somehow, they've made a deal with it. Anyway, it's a good read. 3 issues in. It will make a wonderful trade paperback. Like any of these will, to be fair. This was a pleasant surprise. I'm not really big on this kind of stuff, but I just gave it a try. I don't know whether it was the cover. I think it's a wonderfully eye-catching cover. The artwork is a nice job. Matthew Roberts, and with Ram V's name on it. Yeah, I think I've just explained to myself why I did pick it up. I mean, it's Dan Watters and Ram V that have written that, so I don't know if it's Ram V's way of kind of getting Dan Watters' name, up there in the higher echelons with his name. Next up, the final conclusion. The battle royale between Adana and Blade and his associates. I've really been enjoying this, guys. If they collect this 10 issue, I know it'll probably be about $400 now in Marvel, because Marvel are getting really naughty. And this isn't my whinge of the week, by the way. Marvel are getting naughty with their pricing on their comics and their trades. Very, very naughty. What's the song I'm thinking of now? Naughty, yeah. He's a good. Ebenezer Good, yes, if you remember that. Anyway, Marvel are being naughty, very naughty. But that has been 10 issues of build-up, and they've just got on with it. Brian Hill has got on with it. He kept the same artist on all the way through Casa Grande, and it's tight. It's toy. Love it. They just get on with it. And when we're going to do the deep dive on that, I'll just show you what I mean. They get on with it. Because in certain other writers' hands, those 10 issues would have sprawled across 3 years worth of comics. Like, come on. And I'm not saying those comics I don't like, those introspective, you know, bit more cerebral based thing. But no, I love that. Blade, spot on. This was also, I think I did give this an honourable mention for, again, getting on with it. But I tell you what, I was really impressed. That's why I want to just show you a few pages in the deep dive. I was really impressed with the art job. Is it Luke Ross? Yes, Luke Ross, the artist. And he's been on Star Wars books for a while now. I think he's developing his style very, very nicely. I don't know. I haven't done any. Nolan Woodard on the colours. Oh no, so Luke Ross is doing pencils and inks. That might be it, maybe. And really, really nice artwork on that. And the storyline that gets on with it. Jango Fett's a bounty hunter. End of. Here's his bounty. Go and get it. Doesn't have to be any more comedy. I know. Perhaps I'm too easily pleased. Maybe. I don't know. Now, I don't know what to nominate as Book of the Week because, Jamie, if you're watching, I've put my comics out. They're not in order. And I know you're a stickler for that. And pick me up on it. Because, anyway, because I've got Dawn Runner in here. And I'm pretty sure I made issue 1 Comic of the Week last month, didn't I? Book of the Week. Can I do it 2 months? I mean, I know it is my channel and I can do what I want, but I might not. Anyway, issue 2 carries on with the gorgeous Ethan Cagle's artwork. Absolutely stunning. Properly my cut for a sci-fi story as well. That lightness of touch, loving it. And Ram V again. Ram V can knock stories out. Like, he's such a prolific writer, but of a consistently high standard. He's almost like a modern day Stan Lee. You know what I mean? Where he can just knock out. And I wish there was a couple of artists around and about that could pump out the work as well at the same. And then perhaps for Marvel especially, they wouldn't keep swapping out their art teams. Which leads me on to the whinge of the week. I'm going to get out of the way, swapping art teams. I was enjoying this up to as much as I'm going to enjoy Hickman. I'm not saying he's a bad writer, but my God, he loves... How can I put it? It's almost like, and I'm one who can talk, to be fair, before I say this comment. It's like he loves the sound of his own voice, the boy. It's just talking and talking and talking. It's 9 panel pages of faces talking. And I'm not being funny. It's for the entire comic. It's not talking and talking and talking. It's like the Spectacular Spiderman issue 1. Spiderman issue 1. Do you know what? They interspersed a trip to the coffee shop, Peter Parker and Miles Morales, with a bit of action, with jumping on the whatever the villain was, villain of the month, whatever it was. And that kind of spices it up a bit. It kind of makes you want to turn the page. I mean, Harry Osborn, and I won't say who's in it because that's a bit spoilery. But basically, Peter and MJ go to dinner with Harry and someone. Yeah. Yes. What I've got to admit, and I'm winding myself up a little bit. I've got to say that's one of the crappiest comics I've read in a long, long while. Like just pure. It's got to leak somewhere, but not a whole chapter, and not a whole issue. This is the equivalent of a book chapter, in my eyes. No, you can't. You don't do that. This didn't need to be however many pages it was. 22 pages of chat. you've got to be able to weave in any information these characters had, and about no, not having it. That should have been combined with moving the story along. Come on, actually, I'm lying. I think there was one page. Yeah, there was one page of or 2 pages of Ben and who are becoming stars, who were becoming the stars of the show for me. And after 3 issues of, is it Chichetto on the first 3 issues? This 4th issue, the art job. Ugh. Why have you done that? Just when you're ready to go with your first 6 issue story arc or your first 8 issues, start publishing then. What are you doing? A filler issue? A filler artist on issue 4? Marvel? No. Jonathan Hickman. Sorry guys, I know that's a bit of a rant of the week rather than a whinge of the week. I think it's because it was so disappointing. But literally disappointing. You don't mind a filler episode of The Walking Dead when there's 26 episodes a season. When you get 1 comic a month and it's a filler issue, after 3 issues, you get the 4th issue is filler. It's a chat. What's that going to set up next week, next month? Nothing. Waste of my time and money. But 5 more comics that weren't a waste of mine or your money. Another Star Wars book. I haven't mentioned these for a while because I did go mental on them, didn't I? Recommending them. But that's not to say they've lulled. It was only the Dark Droids saga that did roll on too long. Other than that, this, what a wonderfully nice Frank Miller cover as well. The variant, you know, guys, I don't often go with the variants, but my old mate Paul, how you doing, mate? He offered up. I did inquire about the Frank. I'd seen the Frank. Actually, it was on Threads. Saw the Frank Miller variants, and as a long-standing fan of the boy, I've got of Frank Miller and Paul. Actually, yes, both boys. I'm a long-standing fan of. But what a wonderfully creepy story in this. It was really, you know, a proper like Sith Lord on a little mission. God, yeah, it was nice. This, again, going back to my whinge of the week, this was a chat. This was also a talk. Not between 4 characters, between 2. And Tom King, as the actress said to the bishop, pulls it off. This is how you do it, guys. This is, and you know I was a bit wobbly about this at the beginning, but it all came into focus, and now it just, and he uses a technique of, because as you can tell from the cover, I'm not being that spoilery, am I, guys? As you can tell, Wonder Woman is being interrogated with her own lasso of truth. Brilliant, nice issue, really nice. This is consistently good. Oh, Dan Waters again. It is, isn't it? Yes. Dan Waters again. So he's over from, you know, doing his little team up with Ram V on the other one, on a Creature from the Black Lagoon. Really, and again, this has ramped up. So we're on issue 3. You know, issue 2 maybe. It wasn't a bad comic, but you know, like when it lulls a bit. But no, it's right back up there. Thoroughly recommend this, and obviously the one hand is the companion piece. I don't know what they're going to do trade paperback wise. It might be nice somehow that they're going to combine it somehow. Look like do an issue or a couple of issues and intersperse it with the other one or whatever. But anyway, we'll see. Detective Comics now knew what DC do that Marvel failed to. Is at least they've got a new artist on the book, decent artist, who is Javier Fernandez. Right, Ram V's still writing it, so we've got Crescendo. So this is the third act of the Gotham Nocturne that Ram V has been, and it has been absolutely supreme. Loved it. But what they've done is they've brought a new artist in on part 1. Nice. Not part 3 or part 4. Swap the artist out. No, they've been consistent with the writer. Let's just do a different art team with each individual storyline. What I also liked about this, guys, is the backup piece, which I get. Listen, I'm a UK comic collector, so I grew up on anthology, on weekly anthologies, the most awesome of which being 2000 AD. There would always be the lame, there'd always be the lame duck story or the one you didn't like as much. But that is the thing with anthology. You should get plenty of bang for your buck. With this backup story by Packnadel, his first name there, so forgive me. Alex Packnadel, Robbie Rodriguez on the art. Just a one-off short story of Batgirl. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. Now that is worth your money. $4? $4.99. Now that is worth your money, guys. I think, anyway. That's what I call. And this has been worth the money as well. $3. I don't know why I'm focusing on the cost, but I think it's part of life at the moment, guys, isn't it? This has done everything it says on the tin. Action-packed, easy read, full of fun and fights. Loved it. They've nailed it. Nailed it with that one. And that will make 5 issues, done. Love it. Love it. It was like last issue, I thought, blimey, this is building up to the ending. This issue, yeah, that's it. That's the way to do it. So thoroughly recommend all of that top 10. Sorry that was a bit of a rank, guys. And I'm not anti Ultimate Spider-Man because I think I have put it. I am on record as saying I enjoy that book, but it's got to be called out when they trip up. And I don't know if Hickman's being given too much rope to hang himself with, and this swapping out the art teams mid-story is, for me, it's just a personal peeve. It's so jarring. At least with the Hulk, I'll give you another example. With the Hulk, at least it's that latest Frozen Charlotte storyline in the Incredible Hulk where they've got that new artist on, which I did have a bit of a whinge about, didn't I? It was very jarring, but I think only because Nick Klein's fluid artwork is so superb that this new artist come along. But I've got to admit, the storyline has been such that it's been a great storyline, and you do settle into it. You do. You just settle into it. That's one storyline, and Nick Klein's going to be back on the next story. That's the way you do it. So Marvel can do it. But what I think they should be considering as one of their flagship titles, the new Ultimate Spider-Man book, issue 4, just put Messina. What's his name? Just put him on it. No one will notice. Join me after the scroll for the deep dive on the top 5, if you dare. Okay, guys, let's get right on with it. Infernals, issue 3. This has been an absolute delight. Great. I think that's a great cover design as well. I really do. These are 2 characters within the story. I won't give too much away. I won't give too much away because I know that some of you. But look at this. He's got a style here, John Pearson, and that it does take you a while to ease into it, but it's great stuff. Great stuff. I mean, it looks fully painted, which I don't know if this is some digital concoction or if it is what it looks like. These 2 characters are great, by the way. Like I say, I try not to make it too spoilery, but it literally is the shenanigans of like the dad of the family's dying, and it is the family, his ex-wife coming back, his current wife getting the and this is his kind of concierge or butler. He's kind of what's the word I'm looking? Anyway, yeah, like the house organizer, there's machinations behind the scenes in hell. This is just great stuff, handled so nicely. And there is a bit in the back about the letterer who does deserve a shout out, and how he created, how he, just that is still part of the whole storytelling experience for me. and I did like that little insight into. Let's give him a shout out. Hassan Otsmain Elahu. They can't be John Smith anymore, can they? I know I've said it before, but anyway, a great job on the lettering. Just a good all-round package of Succession meets Angel Heart. It really is good. And keeping on the horror theme, but this is a bit more, I don't know, this is a bit more traditional, shall we say. Dan Waters and Ram V, need no introduction. Matthew Roberts, obviously Dave Stewart on the colours, we all know. So these are stalwarts of comic books as we know and love them. I wouldn't have normally bothered with this, like I said previously, but with Ram V on board and Matthew Roberts' artwork, I've got to say a quick flick through this at the comic shop. It just looked nice. It just looked nice. It looked like our main character is on the edge, and who doesn't like a main character on the edge? And I just thought this kind of stuff is a very cinematic presentation, actually, with the long shot. You can imagine this unraveling in a film like in an opening montage of credits, starring and all that. So I thought this was a real solid intro into the characters, where she is, the setting, what's going on. And again, we have just to keep going on about my point about 9 panel pages of talking. I don't mind that. The difference being, in this comic, we're introduced to new characters, new characters to us, that are obviously going to be ongoing and essential to the story. And the story moves along. It moves onto the next bit of story that we need. And I've got to admit, I do like how it is Matthew Roberts, isn't it? Yeah. How Matthew Roberts is drawing our central character. I'm really enjoying this washed up character of a woman he's got going on here. I really did enjoy it. What I won't do is go any further, because you would have to buy it if you're intrigued to see how he ties it in. Our good old Ram V and Dan Waters. And I don't know what share of what they had going on. It doesn't mention it. No, they just share the right. But then again, Dan Waters, graciously, Ram V has let Dan Waters go ahead in the credits. So perhaps it's story and script, maybe. Anyway, it's a nice mix of, look, the dream. Again, Matthew Roberts' artwork. Nice dreamlike quality to the beginning, the drowning element, and yeah, good, very good issue. A very good first issue, and this is a very good second issue. This is where I get my Star Wars fix now from the Marvel comics. I know I've had my comments in the past about Marvel and the Dismal Minus, which is shocking. But I just really like Luke Ross's artwork in it, and it does get on with it. This comic book just gets on with it. I mean, at the beginning, there's a fight. They've introduced these characters, and Jango Fett just turns round, and then, look, they're running at him, and they don't even show you the fight. That's how succinctly they want to get on with this story, and that's what I love. Oh, poodoo. So Jango Fett's gone to this meeting, and it's going to kick off, ain't it? Yeah, there we go. Boom. Boof, boof, boof. Look, thanks for all standing conveniently close together. Aura Singh, look, how nice is that artwork? I think that's fantastic. That is it's so evocative. It's just showing enough, just doing enough. Luke Ross. He's nailing it. For me, for a Star Wars story, this boy's nailing it. Look at that. I mean, I know I gush about Even Cagle, who was getting the suits and stuff right on the Dawn Runner stuff, but look at this. This is my Star Wars. Love this. And no more balloons other than that, which is a nice page turner from, this character saying located on. Now we know where we are. We know what he's doing. We don't need him to say, like, if this was a Dismal Miners TV show, he'd have to explain he's just got off the ship, and you'd have to see him walking down the stairs. But anyway, this is great comics. Great comics. We're into these characters now. I mean, they're brilliant. But like I say, I hope I'm conveying the great art job that this is. It really is. Like, this is top notch job for me. Or Singh, he's really nailed that look, that kind of that that creepy look, like that. No, not creepy. Creepy's the wrong word. Mysterious. Yes, mysterious is better. And he's nailing, the fwishes as well. Love it. Again, obviously, it's in my top 5, so I thoroughly recommend. And another cover by Lionel Francis Yu, that looks like. Do I have to? I've got to double check it, and yes, Lionel Francis Yu always delivers a great cover, a reflection of Aura Singh. Like I said, I can't resist. Look at the beautiful. A bit like how I can't resist showing off M. Bilquist's artwork on Helen of Wyndham. This is just absolutely exquisite artwork. It really is. And colours by Dave Stewart. I mean, his work on a lot of these comics that I talk about can't be underestimated either, to be fair. Because pages like this, get the colours on this wrong, and it's all over. It's all over. But even Kegel's artwork, look at that, glorious. Absolutely. And I think I did mention last month, there is an element of, there is a little bit of Colin Wilson. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that he has copied him, or, there's just something about it. And it is definitely that European we're going back to. This reminds me of the early days of heavy metal, or Metal Hurlant, whatever you know it as, the magazine, where you get all these European artists come through, all your Mobiuses, et al. Coming through. And again, I'm not requiring. Look at how beautiful. Look, like, who doesn't love a rain-soaked page? Furtive glances. There's no action in these pages, but again, this story's moving forward, and suddenly, even Kegel is getting into a bit of zipper tongue. Now, I don't know why. I don't know if he's experimenting. I don't know if it's a feeling of something he was going for with zipper tone. He's not using it there. There's a couple of pages. Look, but just, you've just got to breathe it in, this artwork. Love it. Absolutely love it. And again, the colours are popping. When you think about the choice of colours here, and I don't know how much even Kegel would have been involved, but is the, some of the zipper tone that's obviously helping the colours, but nevertheless, what a beautiful job this did. It's a beautiful read. It's got all the sci-fi tech you need, woven into obviously a bigger story. You've got all of the little requirements you want in your dystopian future. You've got your rain and you've got your tech, your rain, your Dark Knight shots, and your character in the middle of it all. We don't quite know. Is he the bad guy, really? Is he? We don't know, do we? Intriguing. Just absolutely, it's intriguing. It reels you in. And of course, look at all this. And of course, it's Ramvi. But backed up with Evan Kegel, Dave Stewart, and Aditya Bidika on the letters, I'm assuming. Because we have to give these, yeah. That's a top-notch that's a top-notch comic book. That take a lot to beat, but on a completely different scale. Blade. So issue 10, I don't know how it's only legacy 38 issues of Blade we've ever had. I've only just noticed that. There has got to have been more than 38 Blade. I'm pretty sure I've got more than 38. Anyway, doesn't matter. Because this has been consistently good. I'm impressed with Brian Hill's work on this. I did say a few good issues ago that this has the feel of the movie. And you know, this is Wesley. I can hear Wesley Snipes when I read this comic. I can hear Wesley Snipes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So, without giving too much away, this is the conclusion of the story. You've either been reading this up to now, or if you haven't, guys, and you think you like Blade, but he's been a bit lame. You know, he's been a member of the Avengers. I mean, what was that all about? Yeah, forget all of that. This has been old school monster vampire hunting. Look, poof, 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 look, love it, and just gets on with it. And this is just the final issue. This is just the final issue with all of the characters. This has been a good character as well. Very, very Satana. Intriguing. She should get her own mini-series, I think. All of these characters have been really, really interesting, and the chemistry between them all, these four. Well, actually, no, in that panel, these five. That is the ghost father of one of them. This has been great stuff. And Brian Hill has just nailed it, just succinctly. He has just got on with it. Here she is, Adana, that, you know, the big villain, the big bad, set up from issue 1, that kind of Blade is, you know, responsible for unleashing. And here they are, 4 versus 1, but she's all powerful, and how are we going to do it? And this good, just great writing from Brian Hill, and the art job has been this. You know, after Even Kagel, this is going to be simplistic, but I've got to say it's been a good art job. If Marvel do a decently priced trade of all 10 issues of this, look, knuckle up. If you can't hear Wesley Snipes' voice then he says that, nice. This is just nice stuff. Just properly getting on with it. They know their audience, and they have delivered. Love this. Look at this action stuff here. Look, so they're all attacking with their. She's got the bow and arrow. She's got the gun. He's got the swords. Look. So here we're going. Look, shnick, shnick. Look, the bullets going through. No sounds. Love it. Love it, because you know, I don't know what sound they could have put on the gun, but it's so much better. What a panel. What a panel. So, yeah. So, I did decide that was my book of the week, guys. I did decide. The final battle between Blade and the Adana. That was a very, very satisfying conclusion to 10 issues of good comics. I don't think there was a bad issue there. I don't think there was. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't think that was a whinge in a week at all, ever. For 10 issues, consistent. So, yeah, book of the week. As cover of the week, I don't think it's doing it for cover. I'll leave it there, though. But cover of the week, look, that reflection of Aura Singh in Jango Fett's helmet, I think that rocks. Especially if you're a Star Wars fan. And you can't beat, literally, the colouring on that actually is great. Probably Dave Stewart again. Wonder Woman. I like the freaky way they've done her eyes, and it's the lasso of truth. You know, this is the guy who's interrogating her all the way through this issue. So I like the design of that, but I'm not sure if that is the kind of cover that gets you going to the spinner rack, does it? Or the shelves at the drugstore, the newsagent. You know, what is it? Is it going to be that? I think it's going to be that all day long. The eyes, actually. Look at that. I don't just throw this together, guys. Look, I meant to show those two covers together. Good old Frank Miller, giving it large. the Darth Maul. But look at this one. That's a cover. That how the comics code. I mean, it's rated teen, but I don't know. Oof, lucky I weren't wearing my glasses when I picked that one up in the comic shop. How is that allowed? But that's a proper cover. That is a cover that's going to make you think, I wonder what's inside that one. Oh, Vampirella, Dracula, Rage. Another one on the same theme of Philip Tan. What a cover. What an artist. And again, that's been a great romp of a comic. Claremont just squeezing in a story shortly after the events of issue Uncanny X-Men issue 268. And they run with it. It's been a great read, great comic. I'll just show one more Frank Miller cover, variant edition, that I had to get because my old mate Paul offered it to me. Or no, I inquired and then he showed me, and yeah, of course I've got to get the Frank Miller cover. What about a bit of Jay Lee? There were so many comics this week, guys, that I've got to do it. So, but look, Jay Lee on Justice Ducks. He's doing some of his finest work on these covers. But what would attract us to? What would attract us to the spinner? To the spinner rack? I thought that was a great, reflection. Always, blood splat. I thought that was a great image that would have taken my eye. I've thrown that in for a few laughs, guys. So I'll take that away. I think that's an epic. I like the way they've set it up as a film poster. Yeah. I think Black Widow in her little slinky dress. That's too static. I think Frank Miller on Daredevil go like spot on. But I'm talking about what's going to make you want to open up that comic. It's got to be Rage. I've got to leave that there. That's probably a bit static as well. So is Wonder Woman, just with her hand. Well, actually, going back to Wonder Woman, that reminds me of the old Golden Age bondage covers that they would always do. There'd always be a woman tied up. So Tom King, I know he can get a little bit political, but perhaps he's giving, he's having a little wink to the audience there, I think. Maybe. A little bit subversive of Tom King and DC. I think that's a great image of Darth Maul. I really do. That would get me going. It did get me going. Is it better than that? No, see, that one's got two scantily clad women, so sorry, Darth. That's got a scantily clad woman. I know I'm getting a bit inappropriate now. But, come on. It's between them three. Because I like the fact that Matthew Roberts has made the hand bigger because it's the underwater shot and the fish eyes and his eyes. That is a beautifully creepy cover. The colours are great. But is it a cinema poster? Or is it? Yeah, I think let's take that one away because it's a film poster. It's out of these two. The politically correct hog wants to declare that as cover of the week. But just my pure heterosexual middle-aged man instinct, I'm going with that cover of the week. Slag me off in the comments if you want, but I think that is a beautiful illustration. What's going on with her partnering? What's going on? Like, it's horror, it's sexual, it's got it. That's the image you put on the front of your comic to sell it. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. And I will now leave it there, guys and girls, and I hope you've enjoyed that. And that seemed, as the actress said to the bishop, that seemed like a bit of a lengthy one this week, but I think it's because there was so much to get through. And I did have a bit of a rant, didn't I? But until next time, thank you so much if you stayed with me all the way through. Please let me know in the comments what you've been picking up. And if you disagree with me or agree, let me know in the comments. Let's get into it. You know I like a chat, obviously, because I've been rabbiting for about half hour about the top 10 comics of this week. So until next week, guys, I will bid you all adios.